today. We were having some technical difficulties. Good afternoon and welcome to the PFBL Scholarship Fund ceremony for the class of 2019. My name is Brittany Pratt and I was a 2008 scholarship recipient. I am a 2012 graduate from the Fashion Institute of Technology with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Graphic Design. Since then, I started working for a men's accessories company as a graphic designer for about 4 years. Fashion wasn't an interest of mine, but I stayed on board until I found a better opportunity. That was the moment where I was hired as a freelance graphic designer at L'Oreal as part of their SkinCeuticals brand. I worked there for a year and a half, and although my experience there was great, I decided to move on into a different industry, which is publishing. I am happy to say that I am a graphic designer for Shape magazine. Thank you. To the class of 2019, your college experience is what you make of it. There will be plenty of all-nighters, but there will be fun in between. Make the next 4 years a fun experience, and as long as you work hard, you'll be one step closer to being successful men and women. And now I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Michael Murphy. I'm going to read his bio. Mick Murphy is the lead singer, musician, and co-producer of the pioneering synth duo, The System. They rode the 80s wave of emerging MIDI music technology to help lay the foundation for contemporary electronic pop music with their use of synths and intelligent songwriting. The System can be heard on several artists' songs such as Phil Collins' Susudio, Shaka Khan's I Feel For You, along with its follow-up, This Is My Night. They were also featured on Mitumi's Juicy Fruit, the latter of which was later used by the notorious B.I.G. for his multi-platinum record, Juicy. The System contributed tracks to 2 Eddie Murphy movie blockbusters, Beverly Hills Cop, which won the Grammy for Best Score in 1986, and the theme song with Nile Rodgers for Coming to America. They also served as producers and writers on tracks for Robert Palmer, Madonna, Philip Bailey, and others. In 2004, Mick began his real estate journey under the tutelage of Jerry Migdal of the Migdal Organization. In just one random extended meeting, he was offered a job on the spot. He began learning real estate sales, marketing, development, and construction primarily in the Harlem community. A key component of Jerry's organization focused on giving back to the underserved Harlem neighborhood. Mick began working as a housing specialist under the auspices of DHS. Helping the homeless attain permanent housing was a natural calling. Since 2017, Mick has been honored to sit on the board of Friends of Public School Harlem. Looking forward, Mick Murphy rejoined his musical partner, David Frank, to record their new music project and produce and write for new upcoming and established artists. In upcoming news, Mick is pushing forward his agenda of bringing music education back to inner city schools. His program, Spaha Music Lab, will begin teaching Harlem youth the aspects of sound recording studios, from engineering, programming, production, and songwriting. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Mick Murphy.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I need this. Ms. Dickens, are you here?
No, she's not here at the moment.
Melvin Pratt, members of the board, distinguished guests, parents, and high school graduates. So you've heard a little bit about my music career, and I'm going to show you how, when I started out, I had no idea which direction I was going to go. This is too loud. I had no direction. I had no idea what direction I was going to go in. So let me take you back to the beginning. I'm going to start by saying everybody has a story to tell. You are your own author. You are your writer. You are your editor, creator, and the visionary of your story. You are the brand. You're the CEO of your future corporation. So with everybody having a beginning, some are amazing and some not so great. Everybody doesn't start out in the same place. But what's great about life is you get to change that in the next chapter. Right now, you graduated from high school, you have the whole world open to you. So your first chapter is past, but right now the plate is open. And I see there's a lot more women than there are men here. Is there a reason for that? Are you more focused? Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about my story in the beginning. As for me, I grew up in the town of South Jamaica, Queens, South Side, 149 do or die, that was us. And single mom, parent of 3 boys, I was the oldest. I was a nerd as a kid, reading science, math, anything I could get my hands on I would take apart and learn how to build it. My mother, Shirley, worked 2 jobs, and she called me her eyes and ears. She said, keep your eyes and ears on the street. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and don't say anything until you know what you're talking about. That was what she would say to me. On my block, we had what you would nowadays call a crew, but we called ourselves the Brainiacs. Sounds corny, right? So we play football, but we would run drills on paper. Like we would come up with all these drills from football games you'd watch, the Jets, the Giants, whatever. We would have chess tournaments. We would have math tournaments. I know you're going to say geeky, but fast forward, 5 of my crew got into Brooklyn Tech the same year from that same block, which I think is probably a record. Somewhere in the middle of this, my mother she had social clubs. And social clubs were really big when I grew up, the late 60s, early 70s. So social clubs, they would get together, they would give events, they would do dances, and I had this band called the Soul Shakers. We were like a little Michael Jackson, we were a little Jackson 5. So we would open for the shows. From that, all the time while I'm in Brooklyn Tech, I was in bands, and I was recording, and in Brooklyn Tech, I studied engineering. So I ran the radio station there, and I learned how to build anything electronic. I mean, I really could build. When my band needed a light board, I would build it myself. When we needed a sound system, I would design it and build it. I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that now at the age you are is the time to really explode and move forward and try anything and everything you can. Use everything you've learned as a springboard to create something of your own for the future. Now, I've been fortunate because during my life, I've met people at certain times that have really changed my path. For example, they were explaining to you about Jerry Migdal. I had a very successful music career, owned our own publishing company, but I could see the trend in music was changing more to hip hop and rap, and I wasn't a rapper. So I was like, okay, I gotta find something to do rather than live on royalties. And at the time, I was living in East Harlem, and Jerry was buying the building that we were living in. So we had a meeting to negotiate the purchase of my lease. And it was just a wonderful meeting in the exchange, going back and forth. And during that meeting, he said to me, if you ever want a job in real estate, come see me. So I thought about it for a while. You know, I was still doing music as I am now. And I went back to him and I said, you know what? I would like to work in real estate. So he literally took me under his arm. And during the time period of maybe 1 year, 2 years, I had purchased and sold for him more than 20 buildings throughout the Harlem community to develop. And so that's the background of my history. So I want you to remember that you are the past by what you've done in the past, what your parents have taught you. You're the present because here you are today, you've graduated, it's summer, September's coming. You don't know what you're going to do in September. Yeah, you're going to go to school, you're going to do the books, but you have to think about what you want to do long term. And if it's 10 things, try all 10 of those things. Because you never know when that knowledge that you learned from one of those things that you thought wouldn't be the direction you would go in would come around. Like I said, when I grew up, I always loved real estate. I always loved building stuff and houses, and so it kind of came back around when I met Jerry. So once again, this is your opportunity to write your story. Okay, congratulations, everybody. Thank you.
Next, we have two keynote speakers, Asia Brown, who's 2018 scholarship recipient, and Asiato Jate.
Okay, hi you guys. I wrote everything.
Thanks for bringing the mic up.
Sorry.
Don't need it, that'd be great.
Okay, so I would like to start by saying hello. My name is Asia. I'm 19 years old, and I'll be a sophomore this upcoming year at New College. So I'm going to be majoring in art and business, and I'm going to get back to that and why I'm going to do that at the end of my little story, my background. The guest speaker kind of my key, is taking me in the direction that I want to go with you guys. So my connection to the Pelham Fritz basketball league started at a young age because of my father's presence at the Sunday games on 127th in Harlem. Not only did I learn how to shoot a ball, play by the rules, and coach, but most importantly, I learned the value of working as a team to reach one goal, was to, want to win and make those baskets. Pelham Fritz's story is captivating because I myself participated in multiple programs he has contributed to, such as the YMCA. In Millbank, at the YMCA, I learned a lot of things like swimming, which is key in life. You have to survive. In Millbank, you just go around people, you bond with people, so it's impacting me. Like he said, every moment you're meeting someone new, and you never know what that person could show you or teach you at that time. Being asked to speak today is very honorable, and if I could share my experiences with the recipients in the room to help you with the next few steps into college, I will. First off, you guys should congratulate yourself and where you are now, because whether you realize it or not, you have accomplished obstacles that some are still trying to overcome. One to forget the current position in life, focus on what needs to be done or what they're lacking in. Instead, cherish every moment. Some are tense on what's to come, but it's the decision you make at this moment that influence your next move. I know it's easier said than done. The last year I sat where you are now, and I didn't think I would be speaking here a year later. What I did know is that I was going to use the scholarship forever I wanted because I earned it. During my first semester as freshman, I was required to take certain classes to smooth my transition into the environment. All colleges operate differently, so this might not be the case for you. It is very important that you get some of your general required classes out of the way so you can focus so hardly on your desired major. Being in a new environment with professors, they give chapters, they give lectures, and you do have to reshift how you study. So just keep in mind of that. It's not the same as high school where your teacher is getting on your back about turning it in and give you extra time. You have to be on it. I realized that my teachers were right. The only way to receive help or guidance from professors is by putting in effort and reaching out to them. Most professors will give you a grade and an opportunity to change it, but you have to build a strong relationship with each one to receive those chances. While on the topic of opportunities, understand you will be given many in college, meaning you are free to study and practice what you want. This is different from high school because what you are taught has been picked out and decided by the Board of Education. Explore your interests unapologetically because it will help you stay motivated throughout the year. As stated, my first semester was already set, so second semester is when I began to explore. I took African American Studies, Criminal Justice, Astronomy, and so forth just because I could. Each was connected to each other without even trying because I was passionate in it. I would say review every class you're interested in before selecting it, and check previous reviews about the teacher as well. You might not want to take the class with the professor who gives a ton load of work. In my case, I had that type of professor, and then I had the ones that's more lenient. So choose wisely. I had a rough time with the professor who gave lots of work because I had to read a lot of chapters from one class, and then that's only one class. I had to take 5 classes because I'm under another scholarship. So just be mindful of that because some people do like it. Through it all, I pulled through because the main goal is to pass your classes with good grades. As you know, graduating from high school with certain grades, you got the option to choose your certain colleges. Now, graduating college with certain grades will give you the option to choose the career path that you want. So keep that in mind. To tie my message all together, let's go back to the lead and why it's important to work as a team to achieve a goal. In college, you'll meet new people with the same mindset to graduate. Don't be afraid to hold on to that and work together. Having someone to study with and catch up notes if you didn't go to class that day is very important, and it helps one another get to the finish line. As far as jobs, I would say don't focus on, focus on making money because you guys are getting older, you're getting independent, but make sure you stay with the career path that you want because, like I guess the speaker has said, I decided to major in art and business, but not with a direct path. But as being in school and trying to keep money in my pocket, I've scored jobs at Macy's as a seasonal elf, and that in itself could take art because it's acting. So, and then I went into Victoria's Secret, and now I'm going to be working at Nordstrom, and they offer me, Nordstrom is something that I've never seen myself getting into, and it's fashion. So if you have, for example, if I have an art major and a business major, me working at Nordstrom for a couple of years could get you somewhere. So just focus on what you want to do with that. If I could go back and tell myself one thing, it would be to choose, no, I'm sorry. If I could go back and tell myself one thing, it would be to avoid waiting to do your work because time is flexible. So you don't want to be like, oh no, I got this class this day or Monday, and I got the next class on Wednesday. Work is not done till next Friday. Get it done because you're gonna want to party, you're gonna be older, you're gonna feel independent. Keep your classes consistent, don't have them too spaced out because you're not gonna be used to that time. So thank you guys for letting me share my experiences, and I wish you all the best.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Asiatu Jaite, and I am extremely humbled and honored to be given the opportunity to be here before you today. First, I would like to offer my sincerest gratitude to Mr. Melvin Pratt, the PFBL committee, and the sponsors who make this scholarship possible. A year ago, I was one of many bright-eyed students who sat here as high school graduates, nervous but also enthusiastic and full of bliss to be moving on to the next stage of our lives. Just a few months back, I had submitted an essay to several colleges hoping to show who I was as an individual. In this 1,000-word paper of mine, I wrote about my favorite number being 24. Not because it was my birthday or the number of my favorite sports person's jersey, but because it was the number of siblings I had. I wrote in great detail how it was for me growing up and finding out that my family wasn't as small as I thought, that I had way more siblings in different countries than the one elder sister that I had lived with my parents. I especially emphasized how nerve-wracking it was to be in a competitive household and also how great it was to have 24 supporters. What I hadn't noticed then was how much effort was being put on by my parents to keep us all going. One of those efforts included sending me here alone at the age of 12 to come seek education and better opportunities. None of my elders had went into college directly because they either got married or just stayed home. I saw myself as privileged and was determined to make that a reality. So I pushed myself to excel in my studies throughout middle school and high school. I went into my first year with the mindset of limiting myself to my studies, but I found something waiting for me. Something that led me calling and chasing down my advisors, my tuition bill. It is a problem that most of us do not really realize until we're there. It was my greatest stressor, but it was also my biggest drag. Just weeks into the school year, I found myself working 40 hours a week, while also taking on classes as a full-time student. I came to find that college was in fact not the cerebral enterprise that I had in mind. It is full of errands and runarounds to make us realize and help us realize what pace that works best for us. And that is my greatest advice to the upcoming freshmen. Please do not go at the pace of whoever you feel like had done great in their life. Go at your own pace. It was a struggling year for me, but I am still ready to go back for my sophomore year because I don't want to give up on myself. I left my parents 5,000 miles behind me to get to where I am now with my studies, so giving up on school was enough. Moreover, giving up only not affects me now, but my younger siblings who are now looking up to me. This is what I reminded myself of every day, and I have come to love the person that I started into so far. Getting a job and the fact that I'm still attending SUNY New Paltz shows me how assertive I am towards the things that I want. It teaches me that there's a solution and to never give up on myself. Just weeks after working, I started realizing its impact on me. Yes, I was tired, but I also saw skills that have gradually been increasing and coming to my advantage. One being how to approach and communicate with individuals, and another, adhere to the type of student I was, a procrastinator, a bad time manager who ends up under pressure frequently. Now I am also a working student, so I had to find ways to work around club meetings and assignments weeks ahead. Working has taught me that it is impossible to submit great quality work at last minute. For example, I now have a work schedule that is heavily on the weekends. And since most of my classes, quizzes, and exams were on Mondays, I make sure to get all my assignments done. I'm studying no later than Friday nights, and then skimming through my notes after Sunday nights. This balanced schedule has taught me to increase my stamina. I have learned the value of endurance, which gives me the ability to work long hours and get my work done in a timely manner. The college life I had expected is nothing like the one I am experiencing today, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of the people around me. I've come to find that the world is way greater than the 24 that I had. Those competitors and supporters weren't enough for me. So it was hard for me to reach out. But my peers, co-workers, advisors, and scholarship foundations like this have helped me go through it. I no longer only have 24 supporters, but a community that consists of all ways of pushing me. I am grateful, and I'm happy. I would like to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to express myself.
Right, so now we're going to present the awards to the recipients. If I mispronounce your name, forgive me. First, from Andrew Glass Mortgage Brokerage, Inc., we have Fatima Ifa, who graduated from University of Buffalo. sponsor Capital One Bank. We have Malia Ahmed, who graduated from Queens High School teaching and is going to St. John's University. Also from Capital One Bank, we have Berlene Carr, who also graduated from Queens High School teaching and is going to Memorial College. Sponsor CFSC, the check cashing place. We have Andy Gaiti, who graduated from Frederick Douglass Academy 1 and is going to senior. Sponsor Grace Lutheran Church in Melbourne, New York. We have Madison Kerr, who graduated from Long Island Lutheran Middle and High School and is going to Case University. Sponsor from the Migdal Family Foundation, we have Humera Mandra, who graduated from Mont Haven Village Preparatory High School and is going to Borough Manhattan Community College. And next we have Jadeli Valeria Peralta, who also graduated from Mont Haven Village Prep High School and is going to next sponsor is the PFBL Scholarship Fund, Inc. We have Jade Ambrose, who graduated from Frederick Douglass Academy 2 and is going to SUNY Buffalo State. Next, we have Kibra Bako, who graduated from Frederick Douglass Academy 1 and is going to SUNY University of Albany. Next, we have Leslie Bravo, who graduated from Mont Haven Village Prep High School and is going to SUNY Fashion Institute of Technology.
I gotta tell you, kids my height.
Next, we have Asia Brown, who's continuing her education at CUNY Lehman College.
Oh, all right. You decided not to play ball, then.
Next, we have Janine Darby, who graduated from the Promise Academy and is going to Spelman.
What you need?
Next, we have Joanne De Jesus, who graduated from Frederick Douglass Academy 2 and is going to SUNY College.
Big close up here. Big smile. There you go. Hop.
Next, we have Jamale Garcia, who graduated from Frederick Douglass Academy 2 and is going to SUNY University at Albany.
Teresa. There you go.
Next, we have Osmara Gutierrez, who graduated from Mott Haven Village Prep High School and is going to SUNY Oswego. Next, we have Capricia Richardson, who's graduated from Queens High School of Teaching and is going to SUNY Purchase College.
There you go. Nice.
Next, we have Joanna Luz Taveras, who graduated from Queens High School of Teaching and is going to SUNY.
Here's the big one.
And our last sponsor is the Tony K. Rosman Charity Trust, and Asiatu Jayate will be continuing her education at SUNY New Paltz.
Special award ceremony. Come on, man.
The Regal Foundation is proud to present excellent academic performance, exceptional community service, and overwhelming scholarship essay, laptop computers, to Andy A. Guidi, University of New York, and Gerlin Cower, Virgin Islands.
Yeah, okay, good. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. We gotta tell y'all to smile. Nice, deep one. Good job.
On behalf of Assemblywoman Inez Dickens, she presented some special awards to you guys. So I'm just going to call in the order of the program. Fatima Aifa. Malia Ahmed. Gerlene Carr. Andy Giddy. Madison Kerr. Humera Mandra. Jadeli Valerio Peralta. Jade Ambrose. Kibra Baco. Leslie Bravo. Asia Brown. Janine Darby. Joanne De Jesus. Jamile Garcia.
Here we go.
Osmara Gutierrez.
Don't stop.
Capricia Richardson. Joanna Luz Taveras. And last, Asiatu Jate.
All right, at this point in time, we can break and eat. Feel free to step to the back and... Did I miss someone? Oh, no, I'm not closing it off just yet. Oh, yeah, that's what we're about to do, go and eat. Come.